Chelsea are still in discussions to sign Brazilian youngster Endrick from Palmeiras. Endrick is a player Chelsea are really desperate to sign, and it is no surprise as to why. The 16-year-old is one of the most highly rated players on earth at his age, and the club that signs him are getting a gem. Chelsea want him, but as with players of his quality, they face serious competition from two of Europe's megaclubs, PSG and Real Madrid. The Blues are speaking to the player, but will need to provide a serious package for him to choose Stamford Bridge. According to Nizar Cancela, Chelsea remain in discussions to sign Endrick from Palmeiras, but they face major competition from Real Madrid and PSG, who believe they can sign the player too. PSG have already bid for Endrick, but there has been no agreement reached as of yet. Real Madrid are really pushing and are serious about the signing, as reported by Fabrizio Romano last week. Chelsea will try until the end for Endrick, but will have to provide a project and package that trumps that of Real Madrid and PSG. Endrick and his family came to the Chelsea training ground, and met Thiago Silva as the club looked to convince the player to choose Chelsea. The race is on, and will continue over the next few weeks. The choice ultimately lies with Endrick, and Chelsea will be hoping the Brazilian wants to play in the Premier League in the coming years. Chelsea expected to win the race to sign Andrey Santos. Andrey Santos was a name not many Chelsea fans will have been familiar with before yesterday, but they are certainly familiar with the Brazilian youngster now. Santos, 18, is a player Chelsea are very keen on acquiring, and they are the team that are expected to win the race for the player in the coming weeks. PSG were the initial favourites, but that seems to have changed. Chelsea are pushing for the signing, and are expected to sign the player. According to Nizar Cancela, Chelsea are expected to win the race to sign 18-year-old Vasco da Gama midfielder Andrey Santos in the coming weeks. Chelsea are in advanced talks over a January move for the player, and it looks like they will win the race for his signature. PSG initially looked to be the team that would sign the player, but Chelsea are now favourites. The Blues are close to agreeing a deal with the deal, which will be worth £12 million. It is a hallmark of Chelsea's new recruitment plan, which is putting huge emphasis on signing young talented players from around the world. Santos is not the only Brazilian youngster the club are chasing, with Endrick another they're in talks with. Santos is expected to sign for Chelsea, in a deal that could be done in January. It is not known as of yet whether the player will sign in January, or sign and join the club next June. Chelsea target Rafael Leao speaks on AC Milan contract situation. Rafael Leao is a priority target for Chelsea, and a player they will be looking to sign if possible after the Christopher Nkunku deal is completed and finalised in the coming days or weeks. Chelsea are keeping an eye on the contract situation of Leao, who is yet to commit his future to the Italian club. If Leao does, it will effectively end Chelsea's pursuit of his signature. The player has spoken out about the contract situation while on international duty at the World Cup. As reported by Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea target Rafael Leao has been speaking about his current contract situation at AC Milan, and stated that he will return to negotiations with the club after the World Cup. Speaking about the situation, Rafael Leao states, "I will speak to AC Milan about my contract situation once the World Cup is over. We had a positive meeting with Paolo Maldini before the World Cup, it was a good one. We'll enter into details after the break. There are huge possibilities that Leao signs a new deal with Milan, and the club have been reported to be confident of that, but Chelsea will monitor the situation in case something different happens. Chelsea have huge interest, and really want Leao, so if there is a chance they can sign the player, they will definitely jump with both hands at the chance." No negotiations between Chelsea and AC Milan over Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech is looking very likely to leave Chelsea in either January or next summer, and judging by his performances in the World Cup so far, he won't be short of potential suitors. The Moroccan was linked with a move away from Chelsea in the summer, with the club actively allowing him to leave. A move failed to materialise, and Ziyech stayed at Chelsea. A lack of game time so far this season means a move away is likely in January. According to Fabrizio Romano, while there is interest from AC Milan on Hakim Ziyech, and the club do appreciate him, there is currently no ongoing negotiations for the player. Ziyech nearly joined Milan in the summer, but Milan did not want to sign the player on a permanent deal. The move fell through, and now there is no active negotiations ongoing for the player. Chelsea are expected to allow Ziyech to leave in January, but they were not interested in any loan deals this summer. Ajax wanted the player too, but the fee Chelsea asked for was too high for the Dutch club. Milan may try again closer to January, but for now there is nothing active between the club and Hakim Ziyech. Chelsea will hope Ziyech keeps performing the way he is at the World Cup, as his stock will continue to rise. Chelsea interested in signing Mohammed Kudus in January. Mohammed Kudus made a bold claim a week ago that Neymar was not a better player than him, and he done no harms to that claim against South Korea when he netted 2 goals to win the game. The Ajax forward has been in fine form for club and country this season, and has attracted the attention of a few big clubs around Europe. Chelsea are one of those clubs. Chelsea are not alone in their interest for the Ghanaian, and will face stiff competition if they decide to move for him in January. According to Fichajes in Spain, Chelsea are interested in signing Ajax forward Mohammed Kudus in January, but will face a lot of competition for the signature of the player. PSG, Liverpool, Real Madrid and Chelsea are all interested in the player, but it remains to be seen if all 4 are willing to put in an offer. Kudus can play in a number of positions, as a number 9 or in behind the striker as a number 10. That versatility will be important for Chelsea if they do make a move for him. The fee will be high, and as we've seen with Antony to Manchester United, Ajax will stand firm. It could be £70 minus 80 million, but for the quality of the player, it's a fee that is worth it. A deal is one to keep an eye on. Chelsea target Moises Caicedo not expected to leave in January. Chelsea are interested in Moises Caicedo, but any move the club are planning to make will have to be made in the summer and not January, as the player is likely to stay in January. Midfield has become a priority for Chelsea, and Graham Potter has huge interest in bringing Caicedo to the club he left Brighton for. Their relationship could be a key factor in a possible deal. That deal, however, if it does happen, may have to wait until the summer. According to Fabrizio Romano, Moises Caicedo is not expected to leave Brighton in January amid heavy interest from a number of Premier League clubs. Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool are all interested in Caicedo, but each team may have to wait until the summer to get a hold of the Ecuador midfielder. Brighton are confident they can keep hold of the player until June at the very least, but he is not expected to stay at the club beyond next summer as things stand. Caicedo is set to be worth around £70 million, which is a major profit considering he was bought for £4.5 million. Chelsea have interest and are expected to be at the bidding table when the time comes. A midfield signing may be made by Chelsea in January, but it does not look likely to be Brighton midfielder Moises Caicedo as things stand.